My name is Mira. I am 25 years old. I live in a small and quiet town. My family is not rich, but we live a simple and good life. My parents are very strict. They are also very religious. They taught me many things about life, love, and marriage. They always said that love is a pure and clean thing. They said marriage is a special bond that must be respected. I listened to them from a young age, and their words stayed inside my mind for many years. Because of my parents and their lessons, I grew up with strong beliefs. I believed I must wait for marriage. I believed that my body and my heart must stay safe until I found the right man and the right time. I never dated anyone. I never had a boyfriend. I never went to parties with boys. I never kissed anyone. My lips never touched another person's lips. This was my own choice. It came from my values and my family's teachings. When I went to college, I saw many different girls. They did not live like me. They dated boys. They talked about love. They talked about kisses and nights out. They laughed when they spoke about their boyfriends. Some girls called me old style. They said I was slow or strange, but I did not feel bad. I did not feel hurt. I did not care about what they said because I believed in my path. I felt sure about my values. I felt safe with my choices. I always had hope inside me. I believed my heart would know the right man when he came. I dreamed of a true love story, a love that was honest and deep. I wanted a partner who understood my beliefs. I wanted someone who respected my choice to wait. I imagined my wedding day. I dreamed of a day full of light, with a simple dress, warm smiles, and a quiet promise between two people who wanted the same life. I did not want to rush into love. I wanted to take my time. My life in my small town was slow and peaceful. I lived with my parents. I studied hard in college. I read many books about the world. I learned about people and places far from my town. But one thought stayed with me every day. I wanted to find a man who loved me for who I am. I wanted to find someone who looked at me with respect. This hope lived in me like a soft light. I knew that many other people lived in different ways. Some had many relationships before they married. Some changed partners often. People follow their own path, and I understood that. But my way was special to me. I chose to protect my heart. I wanted to give it to one person only. This person would be my husband. We would build a good life together. I waited with patience and trust. Now I was 25. I felt ready for love, but I still wanted the right kind of love. I wanted love that fit my beliefs. I wanted love that stayed. I did not know what the next day would bring, but I felt ready for change. I trusted my faith. I trusted my heart. My story was slow, but it was mine. One day, something new began. I went to a coffee shop in a nearby city. I sat near the window with a warm drink in my hand. The room was bright and full of people. As I looked around, a man walked in. His name was Rian. He was tall and confident, He wore a nice suit. His hair was neat, and he had a bright smile. When he saw me, he smiled in a warm way. My face felt warm. I felt shy, but he came closer and spoke to me. He said he liked my simple clothes and my calm voice. I did not know why these words made me feel special, but they did. No one had ever spoken to me like that. His smile stayed with me even after I left the shop. Later, I told my friend Zara about him. Zara had many friends. She knew many people. When I said the name Ryan, she looked at me for a long time. Then she gave me a warning. She said, "Mira, be careful. He is not a good man. He moves from girl to girl. He does not stay with one person." Her words made me worried. I did not want to believe her. I hoped she was wrong. But even after her warning, I kept thinking about him. I felt a strong pull when I thought of his smile. I believed that love could change a person. I believed that if he truly cared for me, he would respect my values. I wanted to believe he could be better. I wanted to believe he was different with me. Soon, Rian started to call me every day. He sent me flowers, bright red ones, to my home. He sent boxes of sweet chocolates. He wrote kind messages on my phone. Every gift made me feel important. His words made me smile. He always knew how to make me feel happy. I had never felt this way before. I felt like he saw me. I felt like he chose me. I thought maybe he was the man I had waited for all my life. He made me believe he loved me. I began to see my future with him. I imagined a home, a simple life, and respect between us. I believed he was the answer to my long wait. One evening, Rian planned a special night. He took me to a beautiful restaurant. I had never seen a place like that. The lights were soft. The music was slow. I wore a red dress for the first time. I felt older and different. Rian looked at me and said I looked wonderful. His words felt warm in my heart. We talked through dinner. We laughed many times. He made me feel like I was the only person in the room. I felt safe and happy. After we ate, he drove me home. The night was quiet. The car was dark. When he stopped the car near my house, he turned to me. His eyes looked warm and deep. He said, "Mira, I think about you all the time." My heart beat fast. Then he moved closer. Before I understood what was happening, he kissed me. It was my first kiss. His lips were soft. The world felt quiet. I felt warm and unsure at the same time. I did not pull away. I let it happen. When the kiss ended, I felt happy, but also afraid. My parents had told me to wait for marriage. I thought of their rules. I thought of my old beliefs. I wondered if I had made a mistake. That night, I could not sleep. I thought about Ryan and the kiss. I thought about my promise to myself. I asked myself if love could change things. I wanted to trust him. I wanted to trust my heart. The next day, Ryan called and asked to see me again. When we met, he wanted to be close to me again. His voice was soft, but strong. I felt scared. Things were moving too fast. I took a deep breath and said, "No. I want to wait. I want to wait until I am married." He looked at me and smiled. He said, "Then we will marry soon. Very soon." His words made me feel light again. I believed him. I believed he wanted a real future with me. This is where my story began to change in ways I did not expect. Before I continue rest of the story, please like, subscribe, share, and tell me where you are listening from. Your support means a lot to me. Now let's continue. 1 week passed after Ryan said we would marry soon. My heart felt full of hope. I thought my dream was close. I thought my long wait had meaning. I woke up each day with a smile. I told myself that love was finally here. Then one afternoon, Ryan called me. His voice was excited. He said he had to go to Las Vegas for work. He said he wanted me to come with him. Then he said the words I never expected to hear. He said, "Let us get married there. I do not want to wait." I felt my whole body go still. My dream of marriage was coming fast, faster than I ever imagined. I did not know what to say at first. I had always wanted a simple church wedding, but I also loved him. I believed he loved me too. I wanted to be his wife. I said yes. We traveled to Las Vegas 2 days later. The city was bright and loud. There were many people, tall buildings, and big lights everywhere. I felt small in that place. But Ryan walked beside me and held my hand. I tried to stay calm. I wanted to trust him. I wore a plain white dress that I bought before the trip. It was simple, but it felt special to me. Ryan said I looked nice. We found a small wedding chapel. It was warm inside. There were no guests, no music, no family, no friends, only Ryan and me. A man stood in front of us and began the ceremony. Ryan looked into my eyes. He said his vows. I said mine. Then the man said we were husband and wife. Ryan kissed me and whispered, "Now you are my wife." I felt happy at that moment. I thought this was the start of my new life. But the night was not what I imagined. After the wedding, we went to a hotel. I expected joy and warm words. I expected love. But Ryan changed. He did not look at me the same way. His voice was not soft. He took a drink, then another drink. Then he took his phone and walked into the next room. He stayed there for a long time. I sat alone on the bed. The lights from the city came through the window, but they did not make me feel safe. I waited for him to come back. I waited for a smile or even a kind word, but he did not say much when he returned. Something felt wrong. My heart felt cold. But I tried to tell myself that he was tired. I tried to hope the next day would be better. The next morning, he left the room without saying anything. I sat on the bed and waited. I waited for an hour, then 2 hours, then many hours. I looked at the door again and again. I waited for the man I had married, but he did not return. The sun moved across the sky. My white dress was still on the chair. My wedding ring felt heavy on my hand. My mind felt confused. Why was he gone? Why was he so quiet? I felt fear, but also sadness. Then he came back. His face was cold. His eyes were empty. He did not sit down. He did not smile. He looked at me and said one sentence that broke my life. He said, "I want a divorce." I could not speak. I waited for him to laugh and say it was a joke, but he did not laugh. He was serious. He said, "You are not what I wanted. You are too simple. You do not fit in my life." Each word hurt me. I felt weak. I felt lost. I felt small. He said more things that cut into me. He said, "You waited all your life for this, and look at it now." I cried. I cried until I could not see clearly. I asked him why he married me if he did not want me. He did not answer. He took his bag and left the room. He did not look back. I stayed on the floor and cried. I cried until the night came. I cried until my heart felt empty. I tried to call him, but he never answered. He blocked my number. He did not send one message. He did not care about me. I had to go back home alone. I sat on the plane with my simple ring in my hand. I looked out the window and felt lost. My wedding was only 1 day old. My marriage ended before it even began. When I reached home, my family saw me at the door. They were shocked. They were angry. They said I had brought shame to them. They said I was careless. They said I should not have married so fast. They did not want to look at me. They did not want to hear my story. They did not know how much pain I carried. Their words added more hurt to my heart. I had no place to go. I had no husband. I had no support from my family. I felt like my whole life had fallen apart. The future I dreamed about was gone. My trust was broken. My heart felt weak. I stayed in my room for days. I did not speak much. I could not eat. I could not sleep. I thought my life had ended. Then one day, my friend Zara called me. She asked me to come stay with her in the city. She lived in a small apartment. She said she would help me. She said I did not have to face this pain alone. I felt grateful. I packed my few things and left my parents' home. I moved to the city and stayed with her. She gave me a bed. She cooked food for me. She helped me look for a job. She was kind and patient. I needed that kindness more than anything. Life in the city was fast and loud, but the bookstore job she found for me was quiet. I liked arranging the books. I liked helping customers. It gave me peace. It gave me a small space in this big world. I told myself that I would try to heal. I told myself that time might help me. One afternoon, a customer walked in and placed a magazine on the counter. When I looked at the cover, I felt my hands freeze. There was a photo of Ryan on the front. He stood next to a very beautiful woman. The title said, Businessman Ryan Cade and His Secret Marriage. My heart moved in fear and shock. I picked up the magazine and read the story. It said he owned many companies. It said he was rich and important. It said he was famous. He never told me any of this. He never told me he was a businessman with power and money. I understood then. He had used me. Maybe I was nothing to him. Maybe our fast wedding was part of a game. The pain in my heart grew stronger. But inside me, a new feeling started to grow too. It was not hope. And it was not fear. It was something more firm. Something more clear. I told myself that I could not let him destroy my life. I told myself that I must stand up. I must fight for what was right. My story was not over yet. When I saw the magazine with Ryan's face on the cover, I felt a strong shock. I held the magazine and read the words again and again. He was at a big party with a beautiful woman. The title called him a rich businessman. I learned he owned many companies. I did not know this before. He never told me the truth. I understood then that he had used me. He married me and left me like I was nothing. The sadness inside me grew, but a new strength started to form. I told myself that I could not stay quiet. I had to stand up for myself. The next day, I went to a lawyer. His office was small, and he listened to me with care. I showed him the wedding papers from Las Vegas. He looked at them and said my marriage was real. He said I had rights. His words gave me hope. I felt like I could breathe again. I did not want revenge. I only wanted fairness. I wanted to protect my dignity. The lawyer helped me write the papers for the case. We told the truth about the fast wedding, the sudden divorce, and the pain he caused me. When Ryan got the legal papers, he called me. His voice was cold, and he asked why I wanted money. I felt a small fear, but I spoke clearly. I said he took my heart and left me with nothing. I said I would take what I deserved. I ended the call and felt proud. For the first time, I did not feel weak in front of him. News about the case spread fast. People talked about it. Some wanted to know my story, but I stayed quiet and focused on the court. Ryan was angry because he did not want the world to know what he had done. Still, I stayed calm. I went to work every day and waited for the court date. When the day came, I walked into the courtroom with my lawyer. I wore a simple dress. My hands felt warm, but I stayed strong. Ryan sat on the other side of the room. He did not look at me. The judge listened to both sides. He read the papers and heard the truth. He saw the proof. After a long time, the judge made his decision. He said Ryan must give me money. It was enough to help me begin a new life. It also showed that what he did was wrong. I felt relief. I felt lighter. I walked out of the courtroom with my head high. I had fought for myself and won. I knew I had made the right choice. After the case, my parents called me. They said they forgave me and asked me to return home. I loved them, but I was not the same person anymore. I needed to live my own life now. I told them that I loved them, but needed to stay on my own path. It was a hard call, but I felt calm after it. With the money from the court, I found a small apartment. It had one room, a small kitchen, and a living area. I bought simple furniture and placed a few plants near the window. The apartment felt warm and safe. It was my space. It felt like a new beginning. I kept working at the bookstore. I liked the quiet place. I liked the sound of turning pages and the smell of new books. Later, I started taking online classes. I wanted to open my own bookstore one day. The dream made me feel excited. It gave me a reason to work hard each day. Life slowly became calm again. I learned important lessons. I learned that love needs respect. Rian did not respect me, and that was why my marriage ended in pain. I promised myself to choose better in the future. I would not let anyone treat me like that again. Sometimes I saw Ryan in magazines. He smiled in every picture and stood with important people. But when I looked at him now, I felt nothing. No pain, no anger. My heart was free from him. I had let everything go. I felt proud of the person I was becoming. I learned to stand alone. I learned to trust myself. Even after all the hurt, my heart was still clean. No one could take that from me. I still hoped for a true and honest love one day, but I was not in a hurry. I wanted to build my life first. One evening, I sat on my small sofa with a book in my hand. The room was quiet. The warm light touched the walls. I looked around and felt peace. My life had not been easy, but I had survived. I had grown stronger. Thank you for listening to this story. If you enjoyed this story, please like the video and subscribe to English Medium Stories. Stay with us for more classic stories in easy English.